Do you want me to count down or do you want you to count down?
I trust you to count down for now.
All right. 3, 2, 1. I think armadillos, frankly, need to be taken away from the state of Alaska. Now, hear me out.
What?
Oh shit, you're hearing me out.
I was waiting for this whole like armadillo story. Or
I gotta be honest, armadillos are simply the first animal that came to mind. Why? Could not tell you.
You know, does Alaska have a native animal?
Bears.
Bears?
Yeah, they got bears.
A particular bear?
They got... God, dude, I don't know. Maybe the grizzly bear?
Oh.
Got reindeer. Oh, duh.
They've got reindeer?
Reindeer, wolves, some types of sheep, musk ox, polar bear, sea otter, Arctic fox, salmon. Several types of salmon.
Salmon?
In fact, and then some birds. So, not grizzly bear. I'm lying.
The hell?
I know.
You know what else Alaska has?
What was that?
They're the only state that can say that they are the setting of the movie The Proposal, starring Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock.
You know what? I'm sure that they are the only state that can claim that. However,
yes.
As a cinema fiend, as I am, a film guy, I have not seen The Proposal.
What?
I don't even know what it is.
Oh my god. Okay, so I actually watched this movie with my grandma in like 2009, I think is when The Proposal came out. So I went to go visit her for like Christmas or for summer or something. And so the movie is basically like Sandra Bullock is this office CEO and Ryan Reynolds is her little intern, please bring me a cup of coffee man. And the problem is Sandra Bullock's character is from Canada and they're about to deport her back to Canada unless she's married. And so she tells Ryan Reynolds, hey, we should like fake this proposal and fake this marriage so that I can stay in America. And he said, cool, you gotta go meet my family then. And she said, what? And he goes, yeah, they live in Alaska. And so they pack up and they go to Alaska to see his family. And Betty White is his grandma.
I love this. I actually might have to watch this. I'm seeing it's on Hulu right now, so maybe this will add the Fast and Furious movies, and I don't know, some horror dredge somewhere in there. That's my weekend plan.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so like I haven't seen it in years. I think I just remember either somebody was naked or Betty White kissed somebody and they were naked. I know Betty White had a dog in the movie. And trigger warning for spoilers. You know what? No, you said you want to watch the movie. Depending on how you feel about spoilers, never mind.
Spoilers don't bug me.
Okay, trigger warning for spoilers. Betty White has this little dog, and the little dog is running in the field, living his life. It gets stolen by a hawk under Sandra Bullock's watch. And she's like, oh no, I'm never going to get married to Ryan Reynolds, and now his family hates me. I'm like what?
I love the sex and nudity tab on this is some male nudity, parentheses, buttocks visible.
Oh.
No female nudity. But then just a little bit lower is like, a woman is shown with shorts barely covering her buttocks.
Because I'm pretty sure that was the era where like barely but almost there nudity was pretty prominent, like the Dukes of Hazzard movie with Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, there's a lot here that's just like, oh, there's a lot of cleavage. By the way, there's a lot of cleavage, and there's also a lot of cleavage. And then there's bare man ass.
Oh my god. Speaking of a lot of cleavage and a lot of bare man ass,
Uh-huh.
hi everybody. Welcome to the 7th inaugural episode of the Between the
God.
Bridges podcast. My name is Carly. And this is not Amanda again.
Hello, it's me, not Amanda. But not Amanda's kind of a big name. You, for the sake of the podcast, you can call me Noah.
Yes, this is Noah. Obviously, as talked about last week, Amanda is very not good. Is it COVID? No. Is it a cold? Sure. But luckily we have yet another special guest to come in and, prevent me from talking to myself for an hour like a crazy person. So, Noah, thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me here, Carly. I'm very glad to be here.
So, you had told me before we had started recording that you had a thing to talk about. You did not tell me what this thing is or
I
why.
do indeed have something.
Okay.
I think you're gonna like it.
Okay.
I hope.
I'm pretty sure I will because first of all, I mean, you're my friend, so I like you. So number 2, I like anything you talk about. So number 3, I'm gonna like whatever you're gonna talk about. Hence meaning, I'm ready to listen.
So I'm gonna drag you back a little bit into the far gone era of Buzzfeed. Do you remember Buzzfeed?
Oh yeah, we really like Buzzfeed. We don't really like Buzzfeed on this podcast. We have an intern that we call Boozefed, and we've used Boozefed for a couple of things. So what's going on with our friend Buzzfeed?
So I don't know if you've ever seen their videos where they're like, real doctor reacts to surgeon simulator, and professional skydiver reacts to, it's just the trend of videos where it's like, oh, a professional stuntman reacts to this famous stunt scene from a movie or an upcoming movie as like a promo. Have you heard about that?
Yes, I have.
Fantastic. Have you heard, by chance, that BuzzFeed started pulling in some other types of people too, though? Jewel heister reacts to GTA 5 jewelry heist, for example. Did you hear about that one?
What? No.
Okay, so there's a former professional criminal reacts to like that kind of thing.
What the fuck?
But no, Carly. I feel like you feel like I've peaked, and I've not yet begun to peak.
No.
Here's the better one is hitman reacts to GTA 5 assassination. They also have the same hitman react to Hitman.
No!
Ironically enough. And he's just like, oh, this isn't very accurate. Also, he's Italian.
No!
Because of course he is. He's one of fucking Gotti's goons from back in the day. John A. Light.
What is he even doing? Is he like...
Now, you see, if I was going to be doing this is far too much. It's very unrealistic. Conceptually, the story you're doing where you throw a grenade and distract them, we used to do that. You'd make a big deal on the other side of town, and you'd whack someone on this side of town. And I'm just like, what? Who is this for?
No, right.
Why does this exist?
There's gotta be... Okay, like... So, like... Those like mafia kids, like the kids who would do like mafia TikTok in 2020. I bet it's for.
Oh yeah.
I bet it's for them. It's for those.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be for those kids who've seen Scarface one time or like an episode of The Sopranos, and then they're sitting there and they're like, my boy Sal knows exactly what he's talking about, and it's like,
where's the freaking gabagoo?
No. Okay.
No, I love shit like this. Also, I love how you say Scarface one time, because honestly, that's the only good way to watch Scarface is once.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to that movie, you realize it's ass. Like, the sound quality in that movie is so bad. You're in, like, live mic in a big echoey room where, like, Al Pacino does not have a mic on his person. Or if he does, it's, like, buried in his clothing somewhere where it's not picking him up. And meanwhile, the other guy has, like, a close mic on him. So he'll be like, oh, hey, Tony, how are you doing? And then Al Pacino yelling from across the room, being picked up, echoing like crazy, and he's just like, and it's, why does it sound like that? Like, color wise, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful movie to look at. The soundtrack is fun. You got your fun 80s synth playing, but then you have Al Pacino mumble shouting his way through the echoiest rooms that they could possibly find, and I think that's great. Ex-mob boss rates 13 mafia movie scenes. How real is it? Okay, so Insider does this too. It's not just BuzzFeed.
Okay. What is it with this trend of everybody, like, talking about mafia movies recently? Like, what
you know what? All these videos, for the most part, are, like, from the last 2 years.
No.
How the New York Mafia actually works, from Joe Panizzi.
Oh, no! They said, hey, everybody, we call a real mafia expert to tell us all about the mafia.
This is the second guy who's mentioned he's in the Lucchese crime family. So, a pile of those guys must have flipped, and this has to be, like, part of their, like, community service.
Oh, my God. No. Okay, so what's Insider saying? What are they telling us?
It's just like, this guy's just talking about how organized crime works in a big city. And it's just like, what?
So what's a good tidbit that you can tell me about how I can start organizing my own crimes?
Well, I think the main thing that you need to, like, really commit to when you start organizing your own crime, if you want to make sure that your people respect you, you gotta kill them when they step out of line, or at least heavily punish them. Take a finger, something like that. You know, normal mobs shit, you know? But you also, to make people for years to come remember you as being a cool guy, make sure you put in, like, a public park or something. That way everyone will be like, well, I mean, say what you will about the mob in city that we live in, but at least they kept the buildings maintained, or whatever the hell it is they say about our city.
Yeah, who cares about what those people did? They built the children's hospital, so they can kill some people. It's fine.
I mean, unironically, people say shit like that, though. They're like, well, I mean, hey, you know, the mob had some brutal tactics, but, I mean, our beautiful lakeside casino would never exist without them. And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Well, you know, the mob's bad. You know, you hear that all the time, but we never had issues with the cops now or then like we do now. And it's like, you're white, man.
You're white.
Of course you didn't. It's such a wild time listening to these people, because you can always tell what they mean is white people had it better, but they don't actually, some of them don't realize that's what they're saying.
Yeah. No.
Also, before you get some comment from that one Italian American kid from Jersey who's just like, hey, I'm not white, I'm Italian. Shut up.
I actually, speaking of, I'm not white, I'm Italian.
Oh no.
This is not a transition. Normally, this is what I would tell the people. This is the transition. It's not a transition.
It can be. I'm running out of things to talk about. Professional hitman watches someone play hitman.
I can't fucking believe that's a thing.
It's so funny. It's like, what do you mean, a professional hitman? I'm sorry, please. I'm not white, I'm Italian.
Yeah, speaking of, I'm not white, I'm Italian. I remember this guy that like he and I were in the talking phase, and I remember telling him about how there was somebody in my family that is not
they're not white.
There's somebody in my family that is racist. And And he dead ass, because he was like, oh man, like that kind of sucks. I was like, well, yeah, that like really sucks, dude. And he goes, well, they like me because I'm Italian.
Oh my God.
He said, well, they like me because I'm Italian and I know technically that's not white. And I'm like, King, I think you're fine. I don't think he.
I love when people who are racist try to break down what really counts as white. Yeah. Because it's the ever moving line where, because I mean, like, you know, back in the day, it used to be like, oh, you know, Irish people, they don't count. And Italians, they don't count. But now it's, no, they count as white. We need to build our white people numbers back up. Let's get this numbers up. These are rookie numbers. And then as soon as like they get into a shitty position where they think they're doing better, they start to just like tear themselves apart again. They're like, well, I mean, like, you know, they're kind of white, I guess. Fucking mess, man. I love it. I watch from the outside. It's like, dude. It
was just so funny because, like, I don't know, like, of all the questions, because I'm like, no, you're a very white passing man. Like, you're a very white man.
Do you think they'll like me? I know I'm Italian, so.
Like, do I have to worry? I'm Italian. And I'm like, okay. And I'm Polish. Like, they better not like me. Like, cried laughing. And I still can't get over it. It's been like 4 fucking years. Wait.
God, that's hilarious.
4 years. It's been 4 years. I can't get over it. Will they like me because I'm Italian? Like, dude, you're fine. You're the most fine of any non-white people. You're great. They're not going to even tell.
You got to cut this. But you know who would play that card?
Who?
Fucking.
Ah!
But you know, all that aside, I just think it's hilarious that Buzzfeed really is like, all right, yeah, cool. We found an ex-mob enforcer who got arrested. Also, those stories are always hilarious when they talk about how they got arrested and, oh, I just got disillusioned with the life type of thing. And it's like, okay, shut up. No, you didn't. You got caught and you're being punished. Don't lie to me. You don't want to be on Buzzfeed. You don't want to be on Insider giving these, oh, I'm very remorseful for the life I led. And I just want to make sure that people know where they're gonna end up if they try to live a life like me. No, you're not, man. No, you're not. You're showing that, hey, you know, if you're a hitman, then you get to live this wild-ass life, and then when you get caught, you get to appear on TV and say, now remember, kids, you don't want to end up in prison. Otherwise, someone like me could be in there, too. Like, come on, man.
And you know the worst part of all of this is the fact that none of this shit, this, like, PSA shit worked because during the pandemic, you hear a mafia talk.
Yeah, Mafia talk. It luckily never hit my feed.
Okay, I know nothing. I did not get to have the experience of having organic mafia TikTok come on my feed.
Oh fuck no, it did.
Why?
But it was just a guy who sounded like he'd been stabbed in the throat. You know that guy? His name is like Mob Boss Malone or some shit like that. And he's like, hey, sweetheart, I really appreciate you thinking that I'm an attractive fellow.
No.
But unfortunately, I'm a real piece of shit.
No.
He was just like some 30-something's guy with slick back grease hair.
Ew!
So yeah, I forgot about that. My bad.
No, I never saw that guy. The only ones I've seen are like, there was a dude named Clap Daddy.
What?
There was a dude.
You're getting a very different mafia talk.
Yeah, it was like POV mafia TikTok, and that's the worst part. I'd rather get an ex-mafia dude or like the grandson of a mob boss than POV mafia TikTok where they just like, they booted up LA Noire for 20 minutes and said, this is what the mob is. And and then they're smoking cigars. And then they're like, hey, bend over, princess. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Clap Daddy ended up getting banned because, you know what? It was justified. And then there were those other, like, TikTok dancey dudes who would do, like, the stationary slow motion walk. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And
I know them.
And they're dressed up in, like, suits, and they're like, I'm in the mafia. I'm like, you're walking.
A guy who I used to work with, you're going to know who I'm talking about, I believe. But this guy who I used to work with was really into Peaky Blinders.
No!
And that was like his entire TikTok presence. It still kind of is, if we're being honest.
It still is. I know exactly what you're talking about because I
got recommended him the other day. He popped up in my people you may know. It's like, you may know this guy. He just posted. And I'm like, yeah, there's a reason I don't follow him.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
I may just about wreck your life, and I would like to apologize in advance, but...
Oh, no, go for it.
That guy, especially in the height of his Peaky Blinders content, got duetted by Brittany Broski.
No, he got picked up. He, like, took off from that.
He sure did, and you know what? The thing that I, like... Because, you know what? Like, he was fine. We used to work together, too. Obviously, I didn't work with him at the same time that you worked with him. But he was like a little bitch when I beat him in a competition a few years back. And I was like, bitch. So like I saw him and I'm like, oh shit, this thing is about to blow up. He's got the ego, like he's got too much of an ego. And then I saw Brittany Broski duetted him and then followed him on Instagram, then made a thirst comment on one of his Instagram posts. He never followed her back. He never mentioned it until a year later. He duetted the video, well, like stitched her video or whatever, or like picked up her comment when his views started getting low because he wasn't posting anything, and then he came back expecting to get the same audience and he didn't. So he went, oh, better go remind everybody that Brittany Broski liked my video. And I'm like, bitch, nobody fucking cares. Oh, I was so pissed. I know it's a parasocial thing with me and Miss Brittany Broski, but also that shit was ass. I was like, you're disgusting.
That's really funny.
That
is hilarious.
Speaking of the mafia, have you heard about this Dhar Mann shit?
Oh, he is just like the mafia, right? I think that's what I heard.
I was saying, I just said, speaking of the mafia, have you heard about the Dhar Mann shit?
Yeah, he's just like the mafia.
Yeah, oh my god. This shit's been going crazy. Like, I've seen it probably like at least like 12 to 15 times a day on my For You page. And like, it has been nuts. Like, the only times I've ever really seen a Dhar Mann video are either A, referenced in a Cody Co video, or B, on TikTok where it's split into 6 parts and the top is the video and the bottom part is like some dude cutting soap. That's the only way I watch Dhar Mann content.
I hate those videos. God, those like soap cut videos, or like the Temple Run videos, or the whatever, not Temple Run, whatever the new thing is.
I don't know. It changes every week.
Temple
it seems
Run.
Like.
Let me just make myself sound 100
Subway
years old
Surfers.
by referencing that. Yeah, that's it.
I fucking love Subway Surfers. I'm gonna be honest. I know the second I see a Subway Surfers video and like a robot voiceover, I know that shit's about to be good. Like,
I just wish that they'd use like more fun voices. Like, bring back the Rocket Raccoon voice so I can hear, "Am I the asshole for cheating on my boyfriend?" Context. Like, I want to hear that. I don't want to hear like whatever shit ass Reddit robot. Am I allowed to swear on this podcast?
yeah.
Oh, fuck, thank goodness. I don't want to hear whatever, like, trash Reddit voice robot thing it is. I want to hear the Rocket Raccoon voice again. Bring that back.
I just love how you asked if you could swear on this podcast almost a half an hour in, and you probably have done it like 50 times, as have I.
I gotta be honest, it's something that I meant to bring up earlier, but I forgot to mention it.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it clean, and then this was the first time I registered not doing that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, anyway, Subway Surfers. Yeah, I know the second I see a Subway Surfers video is gonna be good, but yes, I agree. I wish it would have better voices because I feel like every time I see it, it's like the standard British man voice, and I'm like, no. Can I have that devil voice tell me what's going on? Can I have this?
Oh, the one from Scream?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, I love that.
Yeah, or like, I don't know, something like an old man. Like, I don't want just like a British dude. Just give me my shit. Give me my cheating scandal with my boss's manager's wife. Like, but Doorman.
Am I the asshole for cheating on my wife with my boss and his wife?
Yeah.
Let me explain.
And yeah. Do you want that or
not fun?
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon doing it though. Hilarious. It's immediately a million times funnier.
Or like a terrible Western accent, like, "Hey y'all, am I the asshole for
It's just the Red Dead Redemption voice. Dutch, am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for shitting on my wife? Context.
My wife likes to be a toilet. Suddenly she said that's not funny and that I was on drugs. But I distinctly remember her saying it. So Reddit, what do I do?
Do I continue to shit on her? Because personally, I've kind of grown to like it. But anyways, Darman, so
oh yes, please.
What do you know about the Darman stuff? Like, do you know, just in general?
I mean, he's just like, he's a great guy, like, I mean, I think his videos are a little bit boring personally because I have a third grade reading level at least, but it's nice that he makes these videos so that even the lowliest among us can learn that, hey, it's bad to be homophobic or whatever the hell it is that he says.
Right, where he's like,
great guy,
hey,
no complaints.
He's like, hey, don't lie because the darkness always comes to the light. And then we're like, cool, yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell does that mean, Darman?
And like,
and then he just fades away like in Endgame.
Just like, and then just Darman, and then he fades. And he's like, oh, I never got to touch his hand. Oh, so you know what? If I could summarize this whole Darman situation in one sentence, then we can get into context and questions and whatever.
A situation? How could the nicest man on earth have a situation? There's no bad thing he could ever do.
Well, here's the thing. Darman's actors are going on strike over low wages. And
fuck, man.
And it is going bazookas. It is going berserk.
Like, I just imagine being the guy whose whole personality is make sure to be a good person. And then your own employees are like, hey man, you suck. Can't you pay us a living wage? And he's like, no.
He said, no. A wage? A wage to live on? What about my Lamborghini? What about this?
He needs at least as many Bugattis as Andrew Tate. There's no way he could keep up and pay everyone a living wage. Let's be reasonable.
But like, that's the thing. So to talk about Dhar and talking about his money, to make all of this make more sense. So I found some financial stats on Dhar Mann.
Oh no.
So this article was posted like a few days ago. So I would think either these numbers are as accurate as they possibly can be, or as accurate as is known to like the public. So Dhar just turned 38. Okay.
Yeah. And I like how you're you and Mr. Man are on good terms, Dhar, if you would.
Mr. Man. That's what I call my cat. So me and Mr. Dhar Man. So Dhar Mann 38. His net worth is estimated to be about $150 million.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it is rumored that he earns $3 million a month.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's right. So,
I mean, like, have you seen the views his videos get?
yes, I have. There's a
Like, he dominates YouTube, Instagram. He's huge on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh yeah.
That's like has to be where he makes most of his money. He's getting, I mean, okay, so real quick tangent on the side.
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook massively misreport their view counts. This is something that I used to have to deal with a lot.
Uh-huh.
Is that they do not accurately represent how many people have seen your thing, because they'll count like scrolling past as a view. Mm-hmm. So you have to make sure that you actually remember to set it for what do you call? More than 3 minutes if you want to know the true number of views on the back end. But on the front end, it just shows you a great big number. It's like, good job, guy.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sure his videos aren't actually that deep, but I used to work with a guy, grown-ass man, probably 5-6 years older than me. Mm-hmm. And this guy would sit there and watch these videos and look over at me as like, this guy's got a good point.
Dhar Mann?
Yeah!
You're fucking kidding me!
No, this man has multiple children. 4 now, I believe.
No.
And he's watching Dhar Mann while he waits for people to come in, and he's just like, you know what? Say what you will, but this guy has some good things to say.
No. I can't.
God, it's so embarrassing, dude.
That is embarrassing. So I just looked up his YouTube channel to like get a good idea of some of
get the numbers. Why not?
Get some of the numbers. So his number 1 most viewed video on YouTube. If you could guess how many views it has.
God, I know he has a lot. 20 million views.
Oh, no, you are. Normally, I'd say, oh, yeah, like, you're so close. Not even close. His number 1 video is called Kids Make Fun of Boy with Autism and Instantly Regret It, and it has 58 million views.
God!
58!
Oh, my God. Carly, there's a Dhar Mann video called Was I Mistreated at Dhar Mann Studios - The Truth from Dhar Mann Actors playlist. These are 2 brand new videos that this guy's trying to spin control.
We will talk about that.
God.
We will talk about that. So,
there it is. There's popular videos. Kids make fun of boy with autism. Then there's his little face down in the corner.
Yep, there he is, that son of a bitch. Yep, gold digger breaks up with broke boyfriend, then regrets her decision. For the people at home, Dhar Mann makes family-friendly content.
For the people at home, nice of you to assume that no one's seen a Dhar Mann or a Dhar Mann knockoff.
Well,
you know by the title what it is.
Oh my God, there is a Dhar Mann knockoff. There's the one, there's this one Dhar Mann knockoff video. I will never forget it. I want to know who the channel is because I want this video playing at my funeral. It's like this
evil foster care mother mistreats kids, lives to regret it. But she lives.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
But like, girl kicked out of TikTok dance group. They live to regret their decision.
God, I love this shit.
The terrible wigs. But there's a Dhar Mann knockoff channel where this kid is like playing with like his friend on their Xbox, and the Xbox breaks, and the kid gets up and he looks at the kid, throws the controller, and says, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Your Xbox is crap. Your house is like disgusting. This is probably why your mom's poor and your dad's dead. And then he walks away.
God, I love that shit so much.
And I'm like, what the fuck? This is so unhinged for no fucking reason. They're like,
yeah, because it'll just be like, come on, kids, pause your game, time for dinner. And then the friend will flip out saying, you're broke. You're broke and you smell bad. Fuck you. I hope you and your mom die because you're poor and you're broke. And it's just like, what the fuck? It's the people that imitate Dhar Mann are hilarious. I want to get back to the drama, but like the people that imitate him are so funny because they don't know why what he does works. And it still works.
Yeah.
But like, if you actually watch it, it's like, oh, these guys didn't get the point that he was making. And then you see someone else who's actually like, and then you watch like an actual original Dhar Mann after watching enough of the sludge of the knockoffs. And it's like, oh, he actually does know what he's doing, unfortunately.
Yeah, he really does. Like, I'll be honest, I see some of those Dhar Mann videos while they're cutting soap or making noodles or whatever. And there's a part of me that's like, I wonder what happens in part 2. Like, I kind of want to know. And, like, the actors are kind of chill. Like, you see them on TikTok and stuff, and, like, they're, like, just chill people. And so, like, you know, some people will watch, like, the videos of, like, their favorite actors or whatever because they're like, oh, I recognize this guy or I recognize this person. They're cool. I'm going to watch this video. Oh, it happens to be a Dhar Mann. But yeah, so before we continue on, just to be sure the group knows what the fuck's going on, obviously, Dhar Mann is a YouTube channel. He puts out videos that give life lessons. Per Dhar Mann, he says, we're not just telling stories, we're changing lives. But you see what I did there? But you see...
But you see,
even though he says so, so you see.
I love that. Like his merch. Have you seen that, by the way?
Where it
just says, so you see. Instantly regrets it. What happens next is shocking. Like he knows what he's doing, and that's the funniest bit. I mean, like, you know, Cody Ko did a whole video about like how funny it is that he is actually very self-aware of what he is doing. But like, I can't imagine being that self-aware and then still not paying your people, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, which actually, speaking of Cody Ko, the video that Cody Ko did with Dhar Mann, 30 million views.
Isn't he like some burnout druggy like line cook in that?
Yeah, and all he does is drop some eggs or something like that, and this dude freaks out at him and is like, get the fuck out of my kitchen, you stupid fucking bitch. And then... And then the other cook that's there, he's nice to him and he's like, don't worry, I'll clean it up. And then the other guy goes, I fucking quit. And he ends up being homeless and having no job and everything. And he crawls back to the restaurant, and Cody Ko ends up becoming the sous chef of the restaurant. And the chef...
I love, by the way, that even though it says featuring Cody Ko in the title, people are still like, wait, is that Cody Ko? Like, yeah, dude.
Like, so, okay. We could talk about how stupid some of these Dhar Mann videos are all day, but the important thing is Dhar Mann Studios is blowing up, and it's not for the way,
and not in a good way,
and not in the good way. So you see, what had happened was Dhar Mann's actors are going on strike for their low wages. There's a guy. The first video that I saw about the Dhar Mann strike was by an actor named Colin Borden. He tends to be in like, he's in a decent amount of these like videos, and he usually plays like an aloof like himbo dad. So he worked as an actor, a writer, and a director. And he kind of explained that all these actors who worked with him at the studio, they're actually hired as contract players, and they're only brought in irregularly to star in short films. So none of them have regular incomes or can like afford rent. And
oh my God.
And like Colin was also saying, like, even though the studio was growing more successful, they never saw any of that like additional success. So instead, like, they were like reminded that if they spoke up about their poor working conditions, that they were fired. And if they brought up like poor wages, blah, 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 like they got fired. So they decided to band together and protest the studio. And originally they had sent an email to like the HR department and Dhar saying that they wanted to have a meeting with Dhar directly. And they said, yeah, sure, we're all going to be there. They show up for the meeting. HR shows up. Dhar's on vacation. He decides to just leave. And so,
Oh my God.
so they said, no, we're not going to have this meeting unless Dhar's here. And they're like, well, we're here. And so that's when the actors left and they started protesting. Now, I had mentioned a minute ago about the wages. You want to know?
Yeah.
You want to know what they were getting paid?
Oh my God, please tell me.
So, okay. Do you know normally like how an actor gets paid?
Not really, but like I know it's a normal amount of money. Like they have to keep acting obviously, but like they're usually pretty set.
Right. So from what I know, which is not a lot about acting wages, normally actors will get paid what's called a day rate, because what will happen is they'll get called for a role and then they go, okay, we're going to need you for 7 days. And so you have to like cancel all this shit. You know, if you had prior commitments or whatever, you're canceling all of that so you can be on set ready to go for 7 whole days. And so they pay you a day rate. So they pay you an X amount of money per day that you were on set.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dhar Mann Studios does not do that. Dhar Mann pays an hourly wage. So if you have a speaking role, no, I lied. Backtrack. If you are just a background actor,
Yeah.
you'll
get paid like if you were on set for 2 hours and you're getting paid like $20 or whatever hourly wage he makes you.
Which for Dhar Mann, it's actually $18 an hour minimum. I want to say it's $18 to $20 an hour. And if you have a speaking role, your hourly wage is like 33 to like 35, I think it is. Let me actually, I'm putting you down real fast. Hourly wage. Oh, what the fuck? So yeah, his actors, normally it's like, I think $18 to $23 an hour for background roles. And then it says anywhere between $33 and $55 an hour for speaking roles, depending on how big the speaking roles are. And another actor came forward and he told his story about how he was signed on for a role. He did not know he did not get this. He didn't get the script or anything like that until after he signed the contract. And they said, we want you to come on for a speaking role. And so he was trying to ask how many like lines he had. And they were like, we're not sure yet, but you're going to be on set for 3 days. So the guy signs the contract, finds out he has like 3 or 4 speaking lines only. And even though he was on set for 3 days, he technically only worked for like 2.5 to 3 hours.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
So you're telling me that even though he was like the guy, since he only was on set for 3 hours, the man made less than $100. Dude.
That's right.
That's hilarious. And people aren't gonna like I'm gonna say something mean.
Yeah.
Dhar Mann actors suck. And I know it's not their fault because like there's no way that everyone's that bad at acting, and you can tell the bad Dhar Manns from the good Dhar Mann actors, you know? But like they don't put on a good performance in his stuff because they're trying to make it like lowest common denominator stuff. And it's like they're not gonna get other jobs. Oh my God.
So, And even like kids were involved too. Like they have child actors involved.
Yeah.
They had just randomly fired like 2 or 3 of their child actors.
No.
So, you know that in the most popular Dhar Mann video, the child in the thumbnail about the kid making fun of the boy with the autism, that kid got fired.
Wow.
The child who is in the most viewed.
Like, obviously, if you hire a kid, you can fire them too, but you can't just
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Uh-huh.
We're not just telling stories, we're changing lives.
And we're firing them. So Dhar has been like silent this whole time, right? Meanwhile, like a lot of the actors are literally picketing in front of Dhar Mann Studios. The other thing that they mentioned, which less about wages and more about morality. So there was a guy named Carl Judy who was an actor for Dhar Mann. Okay? Carl came down sick and he died like I think a year ago, 2 years ago. And so Dhar Mann, you know, he goes on to social media and he's like, hey, I know you guys really loved Mr. Carl. Carl passed away, blah, blah, blah. They got a mural painted on Dhar Mann Studios in honor of Carl Judy. And during the protests, I think you know where this is going, and I'm really sorry.
I'm worried.
During the protests, a couple of the people there who have worked with Dhar Mann Studios for a long time, who worked with Carl Judy, and, you know, were there when Dhar filmed this video of the mural being shown to Carl Judy's wife, revealed that 4 days after that video was filmed and published, that they painted over it.
4 days?
The mural is no longer on Dhar Mann Studios' wall.
God, that's cold.
It's so fucking cold. Like, the man...
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you were to ask me who was gonna crack first, Dhar Mann or Mr. Beast, I was putting money on Mr. Beast.
Put money on Jimmy.
Like,
the fucking Jimmy.
Like, I don't like that guy. I got beef with him. Everything he does just feels deeply evil, even if he's doing good things.
Uh-huh.
I don't care for him. But Dhar Mann, I did not think was gonna be this year's, like, first quarter villain.
Yeah! Yeah, it's fucking nuts! What's even more nuts is the fucking recon that they're trying to do on social media.
Oh, to keep people from talking about it?
Because obviously, a ton of actors are picketing, and it's some of like, it's like the crowd favorites of Dhar Mann Studios. Like, the babysitter from Evil Babysitter Mistreats Kid, What Happens Next is Shocking. Or, the evil mechanic from Scammer Steals from Senior Home, Lives to Regret It. Or even the dad guy, Colin. I love how he's the only one whose name I know. But they're all outside and they're like, hey, this shit sucks. Dhar Mann Studios, meanwhile, while Mr. Dhar Mann is on vacation, which, by the way, also at one point purchased one of Khloe Kardashian's houses for $15.5 million.
God.
Uh-huh. And he also has a cosmetics brand, apparently.
What?
Dhar Mann apparently has a cosmetics brand called Live Glam. It's a monthly makeup subscription box.
A subscription box?
It's a sub box. It's basically like an Ipsy bag.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been a thing since 2015. And Apparently, they get $20 million worth of revenue every year.
Yeah, that makes sense too. The man knows how to make money. I wonder how much money he started with coming into this.
I would like to know too, but if it gives you any if it gives you any clue, Dhar Mann was able to purchase a Lamborghini in 2005 and he was only 21 years old.
Oh, so he's like fuck you money. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like long-term fuck you money. I see how it is.
Right. So Dhar Mann and Dhar Mann Studios have taken to social media to fucking recon this shit because it's been nothing but like Dhar Mann is the devil.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Also, the comments are off on this official post. So I'd like to read you the official statement from Dhar Mann Studios.
I'm so excited to hear this.
Hey, hashtag Dhar Mann fam. Ew! Hey, Dhar Mann fam. We want to address the recent protests by some of our actors. First off, we'd like to thank the many actors and fans who have reached out to show their support, gratitude, and solidarity to us. We truly appreciate you. Thanks for supporting the corporation. For background, we did arrange an in-person hour-long meeting with actor representatives and two of our most senior leaders, including our head of production, in hopes of understanding concerns prior to any protests. During that meeting, the actor representatives refused to communicate any concerns and instead walked out. More info in our stories. They're like, please get our numbers up. Please look at our stories. Please, like, I'm fucking begging you. And it's so funny that they say that because, like I said, Mr. Colin said, no, we told them we want to meet with Dhar, and they showed their email correspondences about it. So anyways, also you can interrupt me anytime. I will not be offended by it.
No, go off. I just found the post too, and I wanted to trawl through the comments and see what people are saying.
But they turned them off.
And so many people are just like, well, so they are turned off. Or only people who have followed for more than a day can comment.
Uh-huh.
But like, I'm looking at these comments here, and they're like, okay, so like, this man's main audience are not the people who are ever going to consider holding him accountable. Like, I'm seeing these people who are like, oh, it's so wonderful for you to be sharing these life wisdoms. Welcome from Ethiopia. And stuff like that. It's like, these are not the people that, like, have... that, like, I don't know, that, like, care about that. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, they're not gonna be here, like, oh, man, we gotta hold Dhar Mann accountable. Right. We gotta do something for this guy.
So...
they're not good. Oh my God.
So I'm going to continue.
Please do.
So the third of 8 slides says, in regards to actor compensation, we believe we pay our actors competitively compared to our peers. That literally sounds like a fucking like Wendy's ad. Like we pay our employees a competitive wage compared to everybody else. Meanwhile, they just pay the same shit as everybody else. What the fuck? Anyways, our rates for actors vary. Extras receive $18 an hour, and speaking role actors receive $33 to $44 an hour. We are proud to have given thousands of actors job opportunities, and last year alone paid millions of dollars in actor compensation. Actors by nature work for many different production companies. We offer project-based opportunities that vary from a few hours to a few days. We do not offer full-time positions as we try to spread around opportunities and show a wide range of faces. All details, including pay rate and length of the production, are specified in the offer letter, and the actor has the freedom to accept or decline the project, which is contradictory from what The one actor says, I feel terrible for getting his name, but he had said he had no clue about the day rates or anything like that until he signed his contract.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's very common as a problem, too.
Yeah. Yeah. If accepted, actors are always paid shortly after a production wraps, typically within 72 hours. Occasionally, we have stopped working with actors. This is typically due to conduct complaints from fellow actors, complaints from minor actors' parents, complaints from crew members, or an actor displaying unprofessionalism on and off set. This was in regards to the child with autism who got fired and nobody knew why.
Oh my God. Because he was just a little too unprofessional?
Because he was being...
The child?
Because he's being 10? Like, what the fuck?
Speaking of the child with autism, I know you may have thought that 58 million views was like a cool number. I want you to know, Facebook doesn't give a shit about child with autism.
What's their number?
No. Unlike YouTube, Facebook likes babysitter tries to seduce husband. What happens next? Oh, what is it? Will shock you or whatever. Gold digger sleeps with husband's boss. That's what Facebook likes.
No.
Facebook likes that real shit, that nitty gritty down in it.
Yeah, they're like, fuck autism. I want infidelity.
203 million views. COVID-19 hoarder rips people off.
What the fuck? I'm not.
Then learns what the fuck? Okay, so that one was like lightning in a bottle, obviously.
God.
He caught it. Perfect timing. But then car salesman humiliates poor man, then instantly regrets it. 205.5 million views.
What the
Facebook is this man's gold mine.
Holy.
And no one here is critical of him.
No.
Because what's annoying about this like massive like fucking labor abuse and shit like that this man is doing is the people who actually know and care about him are people like you and me who are a little too online. And no one else really gives a shit about this man or his massive, like, sway in the fucking family-friendly sphere.
Yeah. They see a man tell them the obvious thing, which is like, hey, y'all, you should, like, be nice to people. And the fucking people on Facebook that, you know, don't have the best opinions about anything at all, they're like, holy shit.
The people on Facebook who literally act like the bullies in his videos are like, they share it with the little like praise halo emoji attached to it saying, if only the world could be more like this video. And it's like, you are this video.
Literally.
This video is about you.
Literally.
Previously redacted name.
Exactly. I was literally about to mention that too, but anyways, so yeah, they talked about firing the child. And then they talk about the protests and say, yesterday, a group of protesters interfered with 2 productions that were taking place. We want to apologize to the crew members and actors affected by these protesters and for the stress it may have caused. We thank you all.
My guy, I hate to say it, that's what a protest does.
Right.
They shake up your business till you lose money because otherwise you're not going to do anything because you're a piece of shit.
Exactly. And he ends it with, we thank you all for all your support and understanding. More information can be found in our stories. You want to know what's in the motherfucking stories?
Oh, it's more of his normal stuff, I'm sure.
No.
To make you click through tons of his stuff.
No, it's not.
No?
No. It is testimonial emails from actors who have worked with Dhar Mann Studios saying everything's fine. Oh my God, Dhar Mann's the best. I don't even understand why you're saying this.
That is amazing. What is he paying them to say?
Like one actor made a whole ass fucking video, and so
yeah, like a 45-minute video. It's on his like YouTube page.
Yeah, and then what some of the actors are replying to it, and Dhar Mann Studios are posting these comments to the story. Like one person saying, I'm seeing a different side to the protests that I'm not agreeing with. I will continue to pray and meditate that this gets resolved soon. Let's see. Somebody, that's another video. Somebody else saying like, on a child's account. I'm like, a child didn't type this, being like, thanks, Catherine. Like, that's the actor's name. Just like you, I've had the most amazing experience working at Dhar Mann Studios. Dhar himself has gone above and beyond for me and my family to make sure I have every ability to continue acting for him. And I also have autism. So apparently they replaced the fucking kid with autism. I also have autism, which he gave me the opportunity to play the role of a kid with autism.
God, I thought you were about to say which he gave me.
I also have autism, which
Dhar Mann, a generous man.
he gave me a role in a video and autism. Another email being like from a child's mom who was a child who was an actor in the show or whatever. Her mom sends an email being like, "Oh, we just saw everything going on. We're so sorry to see this. My child has always been treated kindly and fairly by everyone involved." Other people being like, I've worked at the studio. I have nothing but good things to say. Nothing but great experiences at Dhar Mann Studios. Like sharing like private emails being like, hi guys, I want to send my support to Dhar Mann Studios and the entire team. I'm very saddened to see the negativity across social media right now. I've always been treated fairly. It all feels like the same exact email, and that they put a gun towards these people's heads. We're like, you want to work in fucking Hollywood again? You better say something nice about Dhar Mann. It's like so bad. And all they're asking is for a little bit more money from your $150 fucking annual revenue. That's all.
Right? It's such a mess because, like, yeah, he's right. Actors do work with multiple people in their organizations, but like, you get paid day rates. You don't get paid hourly.
Right.
Acting, that's why fucking union protection's important.
Exactly. So like I said, this is blown up in the past week. Dhar Mann is trying to Dhar Mann Studios.
Because Dhar Mann's on vacation.
Dhar Mann
cannot be stressed enough. This man is too busy.
I'm literally
fucking off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna double check Instagram to make sure. Yeah, Dhar Mann, quiet. Obviously, last thing he's posted is from Christmas time. Turned off his comments. My favorite thing though is he has a clip from his like podcast or whatever. And the fucking thumbnail for it says, own your mistakes. And I'm like, wow, he needs to take his own fucking advice.
It's a fucking time and a half.
It is. Oh my god. And you know what Dhar Mann always says? Always.
So you see?
So you see, a big theme of his videos is that what is in the darkness will always come to light. And Dhar Man's seeing the sun and he's scared.
God.
Well, speaking of the darkness, it's really dark out right now. And
this is true. It is a little dark out.
It's a little dark out. So I think it's probably about time that we wrap this up. Noah, thank you so much for coming on and talking about Dhar Mann and Hitmen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I'm happy to be here.
I hope you had a good
If there's one thing I love, it's being fucking Italian and talking about that type of shit. And then Dhar Mann.
Being fucking Italian. Before we wrap things up, do you want to share any social media or anything about yourself that you would like to people? Bleh, I can't even talk. Would you like to share anything so that people can find you?
Yeah, there's a few spots you can find me. You can find me on Twitter till it finally goes belly up for real this time, I guess. and Instagram and Twitch as Bubbadabad, Bubbadabad. Let's see. I got 2 other podcasts. I know I'm not supposed to do that type of stuff here, but
No, you can.
I also am on Casual Obsession, the horror movie podcast where we talk about horror movies.
Yeah.
More importantly to me, because it's the one that I do separately, I'm also on Off the Air podcast. Oh God, what was our tagline? I don't think we have a tagline for that one. Horror movie podcast where we talk about horror movies is so strong, and I feel like ending with Off the Air was a really like poor decision for me. Did I write it down somewhere? God, oh God, it's got to be somewhere. It used to be the podcast you didn't know you didn't need, but that was a little too like self-degrading, and we didn't want it to be that much of a speaking with authority on things we know nothing about. Off the Air.
That's so good.
That's it.
That is so good. And yes, like I said last week, Casual Obsession is a great time. If you guys do want to check it out, especially if you have interest in horror movies. Noah's very knowledgeable in horror films. I obviously am not. And so if you need some really great opinions from varying levels of horror aficionados, definitely check out Casual Obsession. Off the Air is just a great time. If you just want the dude version of whatever the fuck this is, there it is. It's a great time.
Talked about MILF Manor last week.
You did talk about MILF Manor, and it was so good.
I don't think any of us have watched MILF Manor yet. Maybe Jackson has.
Maybe I hope Jackson has, if he's so passionate about talking about MILF Manor. But yeah, seriously, thank you so much. It has been a huge pleasure. I really appreciate you being on. And if you ever want to come back, please let us know.
Of course, yeah. I'll be in touch with the producer and make sure that he knows my availability. You
Yeah.
know? As long as he doesn't lose my contact info, we should.
Oh my
good.
gosh, yeah. He's actually gotten a lot better at organization and things. I just need to make sure he doesn't like eat the phone numbers, because sometimes he gets a little hungry and needs a snack. But speaking of snacks, thank you.
It's time to eat dinner.
That too. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can follow our podcast on Instagram at Between the Fridges. You can send an email for, I don't know what the fuck, at betweenthefridges@gmail.com. Check out the link tree in the Instagram bio or in the bio of this episode to find basically wherever to find us. So with that, my name is Carly. You are Noah.
I am
That's
Noah.
not Amanda. And
this is the fridge, baby.
And this is the fridge. And we'll see you next week. So if you could be in any Dhar Mann video, what video would you be in?
I would love to be in the Dhar Mann video where I'd be like this super shitty boyfriend who's just like, babe, you can never do better than me. And then like I leave, and then I go through my harem of floozy women, and then I'm like, no, my loyal girlfriend / wife was the only one, and then I come back and she's like happily married. And I'm like, oh man, I never should have made the bad decision. That's the one I want to be in. Either that or drugs.
And she goes, I don't fucking need you.
I love those. It just is like, oh, Nicole, fancy seeing you here. And I'm like strung out, like I'm dirty and filthy. And she's like head to toe, fucking like red dress, lace, everything, like the big fur coat. And she's like, oh, Marcus.
Oh,
how have you been? Oh, scratching my neck like Jesse Pinkman. Like, it's been pretty rough. Hey, I was wondering, do you want to get back together? And now she's like dating the bellhop at the local hotel or whatever, because he treated her like a gentleman when we went there for our anniversary. But I didn't tip him. That's it. I didn't tip him. I sent him away. And then we got in a big fight and broke up on our anniversary. That's what happened.
And she...
What about you?